Here's how this works. Water, salt, and pepper, those are freebies. Your pantry, it better have flour, oil, vinegar, mustard, and garlic. Beyond that, you'll only need 5 more ingredients and 25 minutes to put an entree or entire meal on the table. So, shop, set the clock, and let's dish out. Of course, we'll start off with some chicken. I'm using chicken breasts here. Some pepper jack cheese. Monterey Jack would be fine if you don't like the spice. A little fajita seasoning. Some peppers and onions pre-cut. Remember, if you can buy it in one package, it counts as one ingredient for our purposes on this channel or in this series. And of course, we'll need some large burrito shells or tortillas. With all that in hand, we can get to work. Go ahead and start by grating all of your cheese. You would never buy pre-grated cheese, right? It has those anti-caking agents that are just gross. So anyways, grate your own cheese fresh, set that aside, and we'll go ahead and get a skillet over high heat. We want to get some nice color and browning on our chicken if we can. Speaking of which, we want to dice this or slice this into large bite-sized pieces. Something so large that it can get some nice brown color before it's totally overcooked, but not so large that you can't bite into it in a quesadilla. Anyways, we'll go ahead and get that into our skillet again over high heat, get it into a single layer, and once it's got a little bit of color on one side, go ahead and give it a stir around so that we can start to cook it through. Once you've done that, add your fajita veggies and stir those around as well. How long you cook this is really up to you. If you want your veggies to be really nice and soft, you might want to even add them in with the chicken at the very beginning. I like mine to still have a little bite to them, so I throw them in and give them about 3 to 4 minutes just to soften up and get nice and tender. We'll add in our fajita seasoning, followed by about a 1/4 cup of water or whatever the package recommends. Stir that really thoroughly so that all of your pieces of chicken and veggies are thoroughly coated in those fajita seasonings. You could always augment this with some fresh garlic, a little bit of extra cumin for smokiness, or some chili powder to spice it up, whatever you'd like, but we're keeping it pretty simple with just that packet from the store. Finally, once your chicken is cooked through and your veggies are as soft as you'd like, we'll lay down a nice bed of the shredded cheese, followed by a layer of chicken and veggies, a little extra cheese on top because this is a quesadilla after all. And then we'll fold that over in half, give everything a nice squish down to make sure that it is evenly distributed throughout our tortilla. And last step here, I would recommend using butter, but since that's not one of the ingredients available to us, we'll just go with a little olive oil into a skillet over medium heat. We don't want it too hot, lest the tortilla will burn before the inside melts. Give it maybe 3 to 4 minutes on the first side, again depending on the heat in your skillet. Add a touch more oil or butter, give it a flip, and we'll cook that second side for another 3 to 4 minutes. I always recommend twirling or spinning your tortilla around in your pan so that all those sides, edges, and layers get to be coated in that oil and get nice and golden brown and delicious. Once you think everything on the inside is nice and melty, you can always check to be sure. Yep, that's perfect. We'll get this out of the skillet and serve immediately. You could serve this with some rice, some beans, or some chips and salsa. Great as an afternoon snack or a meal, honestly. For me, if you add a little sour cream and a garnish of some green onions. Now, obviously, as with many of the dishes we show you here on Dishing Out, this is really just a technique or an idea to get your culinary juices simmering. You could use steak or shrimp. Add any other seasonings and vegetables that you'd like, but if you make it this way, you'll only need 5 ingredients in 25 minutes. And I gotta tell you, I love a quesadilla, and I don't know anyone who doesn't, and honestly, if I did, I don't know that I'd trust them. I hope you'll give this a try. Let me know what you think. As always, we're not reinventing culinary classics here. We're just showing you how to make good food in a few minutes at home. So I hope you'll take advantage of that and go make something delicious like this quesadilla.